UFO hunter contacted alleged Apollo 20 astronaut and said mission was 100% real. The story of Apollo 20. Since the beginning of the space race between the Americans and Soviets, the lunar conspiracies have been discussed on a wide scale. Many theorists and ufologists provide the photography evidence and witness testimonies about the extraterrestrial activities on the moon. On an official note, NASA stated that Apollo 17 was the last manned mission to moon in 1972, but some ufologists denied to believe it. The space agency was prepared for Apollo 18, 19, and 20 missions, but they reportedly had to cancel them due to lack of funding. Then why did William Rutledge claim to be a member of the secret Apollo 20 mission? The UFO community found numerous anomalies after researching thousands of official photos captured during the Apollo 17 mission to the moon. During the 12-day lunar mission, the crew captured more than 8,400 photos of the lunar surface that are available on the NASA website. Why would the Apollo 17 mission collect such a large volume of samples, capture so many photographs, and never return to further investigate its findings? NASA has never given any proper explanation, and the reason for lack of funding sounds absurd, as they were already prepared for 3 more missions. The story of Apollo 20. The story of Apollo 20 first came into the limelight after William Rutledge released photos and videos of the alleged Apollo 20 mission in 2007 under the alias Retired AFB. And according to him, the mission took place in 1976 as a joint mission between USSR and the USA. William Rutledge identified himself as the employee of Bell Laboratories and served in the US Air Force. He claimed that during the Apollo 15 mission to the moon, an unidentified man-made object was discovered and photographed on its surface. Rutledge was chosen as the team's astronaut for being an atheist, and this condition was what would make him participate in the mission, which was quite rare. He recounted that the Apollo 14 mission passed over the southernmost point on the moon, seeing numerous derelict spacecraft and cities filled with towering structures. The Apollo 20 spacecraft landed near the Del Porte crater, and its mission was to explore a cigar-shaped mothership that had been abandoned for more than 1.5 million years. And this is an image of the NASA Apollo 20 UFO on the moon image. Apollo 20, 1976, official NASA photo. A 1976 Apollo 20 mission was launched, which included William Rutledge, Alexei Leonov, and Leona Snyder. They managed to land by the ship, get inside, and inspect the interior of the ship as well as the bodies of the pilots. One of the sources said that they not only examined the bodies but also took the head of one of the bodies with them. Now, the dimensions of the ship were 3,370 by 510 meters, which is quite huge. The age is estimated at 1.5 billion years. Inside, I don't know how they estimated that. Inside, there were many signs of biological life, remnants of vegetation in the engine compartment of the ship, stones of a triangular shape that exuded a yellow liquid that had some medical properties, the remains of small bodies about 10 centimeters that lived in a network of glass pipes piercing the whole ship. They found a female humanoid about 5'6". She had genitals, hair, 6 fingers. She was a pilot. There was an aerobatic device connected to her fingers and eyes. The body had no clothes, and they had to cut 2 cables connected to the nose without nostrils. Leonov detached the device from the eyes. Blood clots or biofluids burst and froze in the mouth, nose, eyes, and parts of the body. Some parts of the body were in unusually good condition. Her hair and skin were protected by a thin, transparent layer of protection. The condition seemed neither dead nor alive. The booth was full of inscriptions and formed from long, hollow, hexagonal tubes. Now, is Apollo 20 fake or real? Popularly known as the Apollo 20 hoax, many fact checkers call this data fake. But Scott Waring, a Taiwan-based self-proclaimed UFO hunter, said the mission was 100% real. He wrote on his blog that he talked with Rutledge, who married an African woman and lived with her in Rwanda. Rutledge chose to stay in Africa even after his wife died, Waring said. And he said, Rutledge, told me that the woman pilot they recovered from the long cigar-shaped craft in Delaport Crater was taken back to the module, cleaned up, and taken back to a military base on Earth. He said she is not dead but alive, and not dead, not alive, but in a coma or hibernation state even today. And he said there were glass tunnels as big as his arm running up and down the sides of the cigar ship, and inside they saw many tiny skeletons of 2 to 3 centimeter tall bipedal species. Hundreds, he said, but the takeaways were mainly made for taller species like the walkways were made for taller species like humans. The woman pilot was connected to the ship when they found her, 2 hoses going from the controls into her nostrils. They cut those and took her away. They also saw some yellow rocks that seemed to make a liquid substance dripping slowly from them. He said like a living rock. He also mentioned that they found an even bigger triangle craft near the cigar-shaped craft, and it had an opening in its outer hull as if someone had already broken into it to search for salvageable technology. Sadly, he said, I have never heard from him or about him for 10 to 12 years. I think he put his best effort forward to get the evidence out, and it said, the hell with it, and he said he'd get the movie reels from garbage bins near the airfield hangar. He and another guy asked the security guard if they could take some, and the security guard didn't care. It was all going to be burned. So they took them. William had a few converted from reels to normal videos so he could post them on YouTube. That is, many people lie and say it's been debunked, but they never chatted with him as I did. They never even knew him when he was a YouTuber back then. And they judge without knowing the full truth. Apollo 20, he claims, was 100% real. It was a mission to recover alien technology in order to bring it home and keep America a world power, and it worked. Apollo 20 may or may not be real, but many astronomers and experts spotted strange activities on the moon. There are several videos on the internet shot by amateur astronomers where UFOs are seen flying near the lunar surface, and strange luminous light can be seen behind the moon. Were they only satellites or the crafts of unknown origin? And this is on Collective Spark by Vicky Verma. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Finally, support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support, and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.